Are these not just so magical? It is the 16th of June in New Zealand and the middle of winter, and here I am with the most beautiful dahlias. They're a tree dahlia. I can't believe it. This is what gets me through the peak of winter when there's not really anything else blooming, and I'm literally one of those people that's gagging for flowers all the time. Are you like me? There's a special name actually. I'll pop it on the screen later. Basically for someone like us that lives and breathes flowers. So this is what gets me through. They are so beautiful. They are the most whitest of white, like snow. And these tree dahlias originate from South and Central Americas. And they're like a dahlia, the traditional kind of summer dahlia that you might be familiar with that grows in ground from a tuber. These also love a free draining soil in sunshine, but they get really, really tall, like meters and meters high. And I'll show you a little bit later. I'll turn the camera around, but I didn't prune mine last year, so they are literally towering over my head and they're making the most stunning display. We live quite high up off the road and I can see them as I'm driving down the road to my house, just like towering above. I love it. So how I got started with tree dahlias is from one of my really good friends. She was given some, and this is what gardening's like, right? Things get passed along and gardeners are so generous. But she gave me a little bamboo like tuber, which is how the tree dahlias grow. So once you cut them, the stems of them, you can just lay them down horizontally along the ground, bury them, and that will then produce stems going off it, and then you will get your tree dahlias. So she gave me a few of those and I buried them down here in the corner of my flower farm along a fence line where I get kikuyu and all sorts of terrible weeds growing through, but I wanted to create this beautiful boundary and it's worked really well. So basically, yeah, they grow very tall like bamboo, hollow stems full of water. Beautiful flowers come off them, you can pick them, and then if you wanted to prune them after winter, you could just chop them down at ground level and then lay those full stems horizontally along the ground, and then those will produce more plants. So I'll show you later what I did. Not last year, I didn't prune them at all, but the year before I did, and I'll show you further along the fence line. I didn't even bury them. I just literally lay them along the fence line because I was too tired and probably hot at that stage in summer when I thought of doing it to dig or anything like that. Didn't even top dirt over them, just fully lay them across the fence line, and quite a few of them have come up. So I would say that they are a really hardy flower. The one thing that you would probably want to do is put them in a really sheltered position because they get really tall with a hollow stem. As mentioned, they will succumb to high winds and break and fall, and I've already got some doing that now. I'll turn you around and show you. But yeah, honestly, I'm just seeing that I've got a call from my husband and it's distracting me. But yeah, so beautiful, and yeah, now you can tell that I'm really distracted. I'm going to turn you around and show you. So I'm down in the very corner where I started to plant my tree dahlias. And you can see how tall they are. So like I say, these bamboo-like stems are what you can cut down after they've bloomed and lay them horizontally in the ground. And then each of these will start to shoot off. And that's how you'll get stems like this. So that's my hand for reference. You can see that they are actually a pretty sturdy stem. And they're like bamboo, but they're empty. And they are massive. I am about 5'8". You can see that they're just towering over my head. So gorgeous. Like I said though, I didn't prune these last year, so you can have a little bit more control with them. I just didn't get around to it. Look at them all the way up there. So gorgeous. So if you wanted to have them a little bit more manageable, like I said, these are the kikuya we all don't love. It creeps through, this is a fence line here, through to just bush paddocks where sheep are and that sort of thing. But the kikuya and that comes through this fence line and into my flower farm, so that is why I kind of put these here as a little barrier. And yeah, they are honestly just the most beautiful flower. Look at that. Gorgeous, eh? So as you can see, they will break in wind. These are on a lean, and I've obviously had some snap off already. I'm a bit of a bad tree dahlia mum. But these just survive and do their own thing. That's just how it has to be. I'm going to take you along here. These were my original ones. And then I would have just chopped them, lay them horizontally, and I'll show you further along the fence line. So these are the ones that I would have planted. That noise is tarpaulins that I have down to kill the grass. Sedge grass which runs through into my flower farm. But you can see these are much shorter and more manageable, and if you were to prune at the end of these blooming, you can actually keep them at a very manageable height. Beautiful. So despite their beauty and despite them being available in the midst of winter, they don't have a good vase life of only probably a couple of days, maybe up to 4 or 5 if you're really lucky. But I hope to one day have them growing all along this entire fence line here, up behind that eucalyptus, and I think it will look gorgeous. Thanks for watching.